Hello guys, today we are talking about the best places to visit in Rio de Janeiro. The fair city which enthralls with an uproar of brilliant varieties. The blistering South American sun and the warm sea. It is not difficult to figure that we are discussing Rio de Janeiro, a city liberally granted commonly itself. It isn't without reason that Rio trusts that the all-powerful gave these grounds to its occupants. Thus, the occupants of these grounds have thankfully acknowledged this gift, honored and brightened it, so presently the sights of Rio de Janeiro astound with their extravagance, excellence and variety. Anybody visiting this radiant land will track down something to find in Rio de Janeiro, and pick something astounding and fascinating for themselves. Number 1. Statue of Christ the Redeemer. The main image of the city, worshipped by occupants as well as by guests to the city, is the 38-meter-high landmark of the Deliverer, situated at the actual top of Mount Corcovado. Consistently a huge number of vacationers make the rising up the mountain in excess of 700 meters high to the foot of the landmark. From here you can see the value in all the magnificence of the sculpture and glance around and perceive how wonderful the encompassing display is. The plan to raise the landmark showed up in the 1600 years, yet for absence of adequate specialized capacities was delayed for an endless period. Just toward the start of the 20th century deals with the development of the landmark were begun, and after 10 years its terrific opening occurred. Number 2. Copacabana Beach. This is an oceanside that is well known everywhere. The 4 kilometers piece of sandy oceanside inside the city has become so striking since it is here like no place else on the planet that the soul of Brazilian culture is mirrored. The oceanside has various public festivals and red-hot gatherings went to by big names and just lovely individuals from everywhere the world. It is the spot of Rio de Janeiro's stylish eateries and inns, extravagant seaside cabins and penthouses that are so famous with the European first class. Number 3. The Sugar Portion Head. There is one more remarkable mountain inside Rio called Sugar Portion Mountain, which has an unconventional shape. Its likeness to an enormous chunk of sugar led to its name. The mountain seems as though it ascends high over the waters of Guanabara Cove. There is a perception deck on its highest point, which must be arrived at by streetcar. The mountain is encircled by invulnerable thick timberland. From the top there is a great perspective on the ocean, seashores, city areas, and the sculpture of Christ, which looks particularly gorgeous from here. Number 4. Municipal Theater. In the core of the city is Floriano Square, whose decoration is the structure of the Metropolitan Theater. The uncommon exterior of the theater with its overflow of enriching components addresses a blend of structural styles. In spite of its name, the theater doesn't have a place with the city, yet it is firmly connected to the improvement of the city. The structure was raised as a component of the compositional outfit made in the redevelopment of one of the roads. Since its opening in 1909, the theater has gone through numerous modifications and been outfitted with new lifts and lighting gear. The theater scene has turned into the setting for well-known unfamiliar gatherings, ensemble symphonies and expressive dance companies. Number 5. National Museum of Fine Arts. Proceeds with the positioning of the exhibition hall, which holds an important assortment of works of public workmanship, models, canvases, manifestations of expressions and specialties. Regardless of the way that the actual gallery was opened in 1937, the start of the assortment returns a whole lot sooner. In the 19th century the Portuguese imperial court moved to Brazil, and the Portuguese lord carried with him a player in the assortment from the illustrious house. The outside design of the exhibition hall is diverse, as the building plan was changed a few times during development. Today the assortment numbers around 20,000 works, including an assortment of drawings, prints, and compositions by unfamiliar specialists, including popular Italian seasoned veterans at painting. Number 6. Museum of Modern Art. While picking what to visit in Rio de Janeiro among the youthful attractions, it is most certainly worth allotting time for the Gallery of Present-Day Workmanship. It is renowned not all things considered much for its piece with respect to its uncommon appearance. The exquisite structure is enhanced in a sort of cutting-edge style as a Goliath bowl on a slight leg. Generally around this bowl are huge all-encompassing windows sitting above the city. The uncommon historical center opened its entryways in 1996, and the premise of its composition is the assortment of the renowned gatherer Joan Satamini. Number 7. Portuguese Illustrious Library. This is perhaps of the most conspicuous library in the city. The establishment was established back in 1837, yet wasn't available to the general population until 1900. The Gothic Renaissance facade, improved with emblems, is supplemented by 4 figures of extraordinary characters of Portugal, 3 mariners and a writer. The inside of the library presents an overflow of wonderful improving components of cut wood, and the lavish created iron light fixture, swinging from the mosaic arch, finishes the company. Much more great is a colossal number of books, filling the racks from floor to roof. There are north of 350,000 books altogether. Number 8. Ilha Castle. The small island of Financial is known for its phenomenal palace. Nobody would have speculated that the walls of the wonderful palace housed the Brazilian Traditions Administration. The greater part 1 million explorers make the excursion to Financial every year to respect the hypnotizing design of the palace. Notwithstanding the Traditions Office itself, there is a historical center inside the palace walls devoted to the historical backdrop of the naval force. The fundamental pinnacle of the palace is embellished by a lit clock, which has turned into the principal reference point for mariners showing up in Guanabara Narrows. Number 9. Palacio de Tiradentes. The varied palace of the mid-20th 100 years, worked for managerial designs, was the seat of the administrative get-together. It was named after one of the public legends, Tiradentes, a warrior for the country's freedom who was executed subsequent to spending time in jail. The jail, where the well-known figure was spending his term, was once situated on the site of this castle. Today, inside the walls of the royal residence you can appreciate French mosaics, see artistic creations by popular Brazilian painters and classical Portuguese furnishings. Number 10. Saint Sebastian Cathedral. The sights of Rio de Janeiro some of the time shock with their bizarreness. One striking model is the Congregation of Holy Person Sebastian, situated in the core of the city. Seeing it interestingly, presumably no vacationer will remember it as a basilica on the grounds that its engineering is so uncommon. The church building was underlying pioneer style to pay tribute to the city's supporter Holy Person by a draftsman motivated by the old Mayan pyramids. It has an enormous area of 106 meters in breadth and a great level of almost 100 meters and can hold up to 2,000 admirers all at once. The inside is likewise amazing. The high mosaic windows let in daylight which is supernaturally shaded by the various shades of the actual mosaic. Number 11. Botanical Gardens of Rio de Janeiro. The green zone of the city, where guides in Rio de Janeiro will carry you to move away from the hurrying around of the city, will give you a hotly anticipated rest and a charge of new energy. The 140-hectare garden is home to in excess of 6,000 types of tropical and subtropical plants, including uncommon and jeopardized species. Notwithstanding intriguing plants and wonderful blossoms, there are little delegates of fauna, birds, little monkeys, reptiles, squirrels, and so forth. Number 12. Flamengo Park is a large recreational area of 120 hectares with several thousand species of trees. Compared to Rio's bustling beaches, Flamengo's beaches are like an oasis in the shade of sprawling crowns. There's a dense network of hiking and biking trails that make it ideal for leisurely strolls. Local attractions, such as the Museum of Modern Art and the museum dedicated to the life and work of Carmen Miranda. Number 13. Ipanema Beach. With respect to oceanside occasions, the following piece of the suggestion alludes to quite possibly of the most well-known oceanside in Brazil, after Copacabana. Stylish bungalows, multi-star lodgings, gallery exhibitions, shops, upscale clubs and eateries are undeniably focused on one of the city's most renowned seashores. It's a position of tranquil unwinding and dynamic diversion, surfing, soccer, volleyball and even capoeira. In the middle among games and entertainment, you can chill with a glass or two of soda pop or do some social the travel industry. Number 14. Tijuca Public Park. This is a genuine normal fortune, the biggest woodland nearby Rio de Janeiro. It is in the Tijuca Public Park that the most symbolic sights are found, Mount Corcovado, which offers shocking displays of the city and its environmental elements, and the sculpture of Christ, one of the 7 new ponders of the world, situated on Corcovado. There are likewise a few pleasant cascades and 150 climbing trails, which permit you to visit the most incredibly gorgeous and intriguing spots, perception decks, mountaintops with great perspectives, old churches, man-made beautiful lakes and extensions. Number 15. Carnival. In February, when Brazil is in the level of summer, the entire nation transforms into a party of rich and vivid celebrations. Obviously, this is the amusement park in Rio. The city, encompassed by the inebriating rhythms of the unstoppable samba, marches down an extraordinary road encompassed by observer stands. Watching this exhibition, brimming with energy and satisfaction, it is difficult to accept that each step of the parade has been sharpened by the artists for a year. All things considered, the motivation behind the entertainers isn't just to win the hearts of the crowd, yet in addition to dazzle the board of judges, who stringently survey the presentation. Festival in Rio is a sort of achievement, trailed by a 40-day Lenten quick. The inconsistent city of samba, lovely nature, the best seashores and soccer has an unmistakable and important picture. Individuals of Rio are basic, light-hearted and nice, contaminating everybody with their merry state of mind. So when you're in Rio de Janeiro, you'll feel totally at ease and be charmed by this spectacular city for eternity. Thank you for watching.